You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak. Commissions blossom into world premieres at the upcoming Esprit Singers concert. Songs of Spring features two brand new works by Canadian composers, Winnipeg jazz icon Ron Paley and the internationally renowned Sarah Quartel. Artistic director of Esprit, Valdine Anderson, has joined me in studio, and we've reached composer Sarah Quartel virtually. Hello to you both.
Hello.
Hi.
Valdine, always lovely to see you. And Sarah, thanks so much for taking the time. I'd like to begin by chatting a little bit about this commission and how it came to be. Valdine, this is an initiative started by choir president and member Trudy Blight. Is that right?
Yes, it is. And Trudy just had this wonderful idea of creating a piece to kind of honor the idea of sisterhood. She has comes from a large family with several sisters, and so that was part of the motivation. But it was also the concept of sisterhood in a treble voice choir, and just the joy of singing together, and this kind of I suppose all aspects of sisterhood.
What a beautiful idea that is. And I'm curious, how did you settle on Sarah as the composer? What drew you to her writing?
Well, we've sung a number of Sarah's pieces before, and it was not hard. It was kind of obvious, actually. So we were just thinking, we hope. I mean, what if, and should we even try? And then Sarah was just so warm and welcoming, and it all came together.
So, Sarah, Esprit comes calling and presents this idea of a work honoring sisters. Did that resonate with you? Is it something that got you excited?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I grew up singing in upper voice choirs all the way back to age 10. And so the idea of creating a piece that celebrated sisterhood in all of its forms, especially knowing one of those forms can be in an upper voice choir, right? That really resonated with me because that was my experience. All the way back, little Sarah, grown-up Sarah, university Sarah, I had these experiences in choral communities where singing beside people suddenly brought them closer in relationship to you, not only, as a friend, but also in this incredible music making experience.
So I guess after agreeing to the commission, I would imagine the next step is finding an appropriate text. And there are many texts or poems that honor sisters. Tell us about how you settled on the Sarah Teasdale.
Yeah, so I decided to not go so boldly into the sister realm that you would kind of be hit over the head with, this is definitely about sisters and sisterhood. I thought I'd look for some poetry that had hints of it. And so one of the things that I love in my music is that choristers can sort of pick out whatever is meaningful to them in the music, whatever is meaningful to them in the text. And so these three poems that I chose by Sarah Teasdale, they have the themes of spring in them. Each poem touches a little bit about April, May, June. But if you look deeper, you will see themes of sisterhood, themes of powerful women experiencing nature, experiencing relationship, and using all of these things to help combat the stresses of life and bring them together. And so these poems really spoke to me as being perfect for this commission project.
You were just talking about your own background, growing up singing in treble choirs. And I'm curious about this sort of singer first approach, because I was reading one interview you gave and you talked about how once you sort of commit these texts to memory, you start improvising melodies until something really sticks. Is that what you did here? Like, how did this all come together for you?
Yeah, so I memorized the poems because I feel like when you memorize a poem as a commissioner, you really get into what is the poet trying to say behind just what's the surface of the words. When you really know it, you can really dig into what she might have been trying to say. And with Teasdale, there's always a bit of edge. And I really like that you can bring out that edge using the music. So I memorized the poems, and then, yeah, I sing. Because I was a singer first, it has to feel good in the voice. If it doesn't feel good in my voice, I don't want to put it in somebody else's voice. So after I kind of flesh out what sort of melodies that I want, then I go back to my theory and comp degree, and I start piecing everything together, watching for all those technical details to really, really bring the piece to life.
So Valdine, let me ask you, how does it feel for the voices of Esprit to perform this music of Sarah's?
The three songs are, they really merge beautifully into each other, and yet they're also each very distinct. So in that way, they're fun to sing because they're each one has its a unique personality and beautiful kind of moods, and so the singers have loved them. They're they work beautifully for the voice. They haven't been, I shouldn't say they haven't been difficult to learn, but they're very singable. They sing themselves. You know, from a singer's point of view, when you get music that just starts to sing once you start doing it, well, that's a real gift. And so the singers are enjoying doing it and loving the experience of this music on their voice.
Sarah, I'd imagine that's sort of almost exactly what you want to hear, isn't it? You know, that it's just singable music.
Yeah, yeah. When I think of the choral experiences I've had, the pieces that stick out for me are the ones that I've had emotional connection to, or the ones that have just felt so good in my voice. I'm like, this was written for me. Whoever wrote this knew what I needed, what my voice needed, what my heart needed. And so as a composer, I think that's my biggest goal, is that I'm writing for people, right? Choral music making, you're using your body as the instrument. You're singing beside other people. So if it is not chorister centered, if it is not something that you can connect with, then I find it's harder to sing. Yeah.
Very
Now,
true.
this not the only commission on the program, another collaborative work with Ron Paley on the docket. Valdine, briefly, can you tell us a little bit about this work?
Yes, this was something that was supported so generously by Gail Asper and her family foundation. And Ron Paley had written for a big work for the Winnipeg Singers a number of years ago, and we thought maybe he would write an original piece for us as well. So we've got a piece called "Swing It," and it's basically I would say 40 pages of very, very light and fun, almost scat singing syllables on a 12-bar blues. And of course, it's got your typical Ron Paley flourishes and fabulous virtuosic piano interludes and so on. But it's got, he also has a very lyric sense too. So very different.
Very
So
different,
it should be fun to put the two pieces, in the same program.
And then, I mean, just a great program. Also, some hymns of Gustav Holst, 4 songs inspired by the movie "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" So sisters and brothers both getting love in this program. Sarah, one last question for you: Are you going to be able to make it in for the world premiere of Songs of Spring?
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it in, but this has been such a tremendous relationship. You know, commissioning is something that I absolutely love doing. So when you get to collaborate with people like this, you feel the love. So even though I can't be there, I definitely feel the love and feel the community of Esprit from here in Ontario.
I should say that Sarah has created an introduction, a video introduction, which we will be presenting at the concert. So Sarah will be there in essence, introducing her piece. And so Sarah, we will be feeling your presence there anyway.
And I'm sure that this recording will get back to you. I'm just so confident that Esprit will just do a marvelous job with this music, and this sort of continued relationship, right? You've been performing Sarah's music for a long time, Valdine, and now this next step in a commission. Can't wait to see what's next for the choir. But first, a world premiere on Sunday. So thank you for taking the time to join us here at Classic 107.
Thanks so much, Simon.
And thanks for joining us, Sarah.
Thank you very much.
You can be there for the world premiere of Songs of Spring, 4 p.m. on Sunday, May 5th at Westworth United Church. For more details, visit Esprit Singers, ESPRIT Singers.com or classic107.com and click on the events tab.